The 2025 Chevy Silverado HDs are rolling in. This is a ZR2, and believe it or not, there's some things that are different about it. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner Chevrolet here in Salt Lake City. This truck is available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so we can see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description and the colors. And then here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Base price is going to be $71,100. And here are all the options. You have the Duramax for $9,490, which is unchanged. The power retractable steps for $22.95. Dark Essentials. And this one has the fifth wheel prep package. Lastly, the multi-flex tailgate. Destination comes in at $19.95 with a total price of $86,235. I still think that the Chevy Silverado ZR2 looks better than the AT4X. And that's coming from someone who owns one. Up front, you guys can see LED headlights. I've always liked the design of the refresh. I like the design of the previous model too. You have that dual projector beam with the reflective style LED fog lights. The black painted bumpers go perfectly. And this one looks really good. Normally white with the black bumpers looks like a work truck, but it just works really well on this design. Red recovery hooks, and you do have a red outline on the Chevy bow tie. And active grille shutters. Great design for that grille too. What do you guys think? Functional hood scoop. Now, I did notice last year and this year that they do not take off the valance for the Chevy Silverado. So this truck's gonna have less ground clearance compared to the AT4X. But they do make up for it on the wheel design. They have a blackout. The GMCs have a machined face, which I don't really care for. And you can see right there, ZR2 badge. And these are the Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT tires. They are a 305/70/18, so 34.8 inches tall and about 12 inches wide. And here's the capacity, 3,750 pounds at 65 PSI. I will show you guys the stickers on the door in a second if you would like to see what they recommend for the tire pressure. Now here's why you buy a ZR2. This truck does come from the factory with an 1.5 inch taller ride height. And what they did differently is, you can see this upper control arm is actually designed slightly different compared to the regular Silverados. Also, your lower control arm is different too. And it looks like there's a little bit of structural strength there. The steer knuckle is also slightly different. And you guys see right there, Multimatic DSSV. Now this is not the same as like a deflective disc suspension. This has basically the spool valves in the secondary chamber. There's 3 in total. Right here, fabric material for that wheel well, and they are still using the wax coating on the frame, unfortunately. The fender flares are slightly wider for the ZR2, and that black essential does give you these badges, which I like so much better. However, they don't black out these, which is kind of funny. Black trimming here for the mirrors. Clearance lights above come standard for that little bit wider stance. And you guys saw those $2,300 running boards. I think I would probably skip these on the Silverado and get the high clearance steps personally, but really good design truck. Normally white trucks in this ZR2 and the AT4X don't look as good, but the white is actually growing on me. It really is. Black door handles. They have the smart key system on the front ones, and they do have the perimeter lighting down below. Now I didn't show it to you guys earlier, but you do get different skid plates on that ZR2 as well. So that's an aluminum one, and they also give you one for your transfer case right here. They aren't stamped, so if you ever want to wash them out with all the mud, you have to take them off like I had to on my AT4X. That's why you buy an AEV edition. 6 foot 10 inch bed. You guys can see the steps on the side. And 36 gallon fuel tank, 7 gallon DEF. Nothing changes for 2025, which is kind of a letdown for me. And then here's that rear suspension, more multimatic. And you have the 5 leaves, that bottom one being a helper spring. Wheel well liners there in fabric. And no ZR2 badge on the rear, which I'm actually okay with. I'm not a big fan of decals. And then there's the optional multi-flex tailgate. You see more of that black badging, black bumper, rear parking sensors, class 5 hitch. You have the camera inputs here for your trailer. Then you also have your 7-way plug too. And this does act as a normal tailgate. This one has a spray in with the 5th wheel prep package, 400 watts of power, 4 and 7 pin, and bed view camera. And this tailgate does have this function too. You can get a kicker sound system, but the reason why this is really helpful is if you need to grab something out of the tailgate, this gives you better, I guess, reach inside the bed. And you have this as well. So if you have something longer and you want to keep it inside the bed, you have this function as well. So there's a lot of nice features with this tailgate. The only negative is if you get this tailgate, you cannot put it up with power. This is the restyled taillights. These were on a restraint last year, and so for this year it seems like most of the trucks are being delivered with them. So here's the Gen 2 L5P. They did some updates last year, so 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. One thing I like about this engine is it does make better power while towing. I've done some towing tests in the past, and I drove a Gen 1 L5P just yesterday, and I was really shocked by the difference in how the power is delivered. And I think a lot of that has to do in part to a new turbo and the combustion. This also has the Denso fuel pump, which is more reliable than the CP4 that it replaced years ago. But I would venture to say some people should consider the 6.6 gas engine because it does have the 10-speed behind it now, and it has a 373. This diesel has a 342 rear end, and so if you live at sea level, I feel as though the gas engine would be a little bit better. But at the higher elevations, for me personally, I would probably choose the diesel because every 1,000 feet you go up, you lose 3% of your horsepower, and that's why I think the diesel makes more sense when you do live higher up or in the mountains. One thing that's nice about the ZR2 is they give you a unique interior. So you get this gray stone with this lime green stitching, and there's a lot of black accents on this interior as well. But check out the graphics here. You also have seat memories, auto up and down for the front, auto down for the rear. You have to hold it to go back up. Tow mode for the mirrors, and they are power folding. Always nice to have. And then some of the controls on the side, your electronic parking brake, your four-wheel drive system, and you have also tow haul mode, which you would expect on an AC truck. And then here's the lighting. Down below, ZR2 badge, and then here are your seat controls. So you have a 10-way seat, including lumbar, and great bolstering on the sides for going off-road. And they have some perforated leather here too. And I do like that lime green stitching. I like this interior. It's not as nice as what you would see on the AT4X, but you're gonna pay a lot less on this truck for sure. They do provide a grab handle, and the roof does match the interior, which is always a nice thing. 9-speaker Bose sound system. And then check out some of your animations here for your screens. Pretty cool. Push button start. And this truck does not have heads-up display, so you'd have to get a technology package with this truck. Now, something else worth mentioning on the outside, I didn't mention it. They did take away the blue color for 2025, unfortunately. So if you wanted that blue, well, it's going for this year. Black bow tie here. You do have your cruise control and heated steering wheel, and some more controls on this side. Dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats right there. Trailer brake, more of that design on the interior. And then check out your center armrest too. More of that lime green stitching. You have that black with that gray stone. And I do like this interior setup slightly better than mine because you have more storage. The only thing is I wish that this was covered, but this is a big area, so I don't know how big or how they would have to put the cover on there, so it just makes more sense to be open. Inside this area you have 2 USBs, also 120 volt power plug, wireless charger, removable tray. None of this changes. They do illuminate this area too. More storage up here. You don't get this on the GMCs. And then you have 2 more USBs right here. Here's my biggest complaint on the ZR2. I was really hoping that they were going to give us a gauge summary, which would show you basically all your temperatures for your transmission oil. In my humble opinion, that is very important, and the reason why is because when I went off-road with my AT4X, I got my temperature in my transmission like above 190 degrees because I got stuck. And it would be nice to see all the temperatures in one spot, especially when you're running at 4 low. Obviously you're gonna be running at high RPM, so it would be nice to see them, you know, change that up on the screen. Even on the Colorado, you can get like your engine oil, coolant, and transmission temperatures on the screen. So on this one, they still haven't done that. Here is that 13.4-inch display. This is still class leading until we see what Ram does. And this one does have the HD surround view like this. That comes standard on ZR2. You have a lot of different camera views as well. If you need to see where those tires are going off-road, you have that availability. Now, I didn't mention on the outside, you do have an open diff on the front, but you do have a locker, which is right here, and downhill assist. You can also put all the windows down together. You can drop the tailgate from inside the truck too. Parking sensors can be disabled. And this is your lane keep assist alert, so it's not going to turn the steering wheel. And of course your exhaust brake. And you do have a gear limiter right here. So if you put it all the way into low, you can just limit where you want that at. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel. The only thing that this truck is kind of missing that I would like is the heads up. And this one does not have a sunroof. So I think that's probably better not having a sunroof for an off-road truck if you plan on going off-road, because you do have better rigidity with that. LED lights, home links up here, and you have your vanity on both sides. Let's go ahead and check out the interior over here. Here's your cover on the passenger side. Also, if you do plan on putting a bed camper in the bed, this is rated for 2,227 pounds. Now that's not your payload. That's just for a bed camper, okay? A little bit of storage on the side. And same seat controls that you saw on the driver's side is on the passenger side too. Out back, they have some nice features for storage right here. Also, they do provide storage below the seat back pockets, outboard heated seats, 2 USB air vents, and power sliding glass, armrest, and you have the storage on both sides. Now under this side of the seat, let's check it out. There it is. Great storage and flat floor surface. Now as far as the numbers on the door, here's all the axle ratings. Front is right here at 5,600 pounds. The rear is 6,600 pounds. 11,350 is the gross vehicle weight rating. And these are 18/9 wide wheels. All in payload is just under 3,000 pounds at 2,977 pounds. 18.5 is for conventional towing. 18.1 is for Gooseneck. So Gooseneck is a little bit lower compared to a regular 2,500, I believe. And here is a yellow sticker. You guys see the tire pressures at 55 front and rear. As I mentioned earlier, this truck is available, and if you did wait to get a 2025, the price did go up by $500, and the tech package also went up by a few bucks as well. I think that this is still one of the best options on the market. I think that the overall stance of this truck, the overall design is perfect, and all the standard features that it gives you is pretty much up there with the rest of them. So unless you're needing to tow a big fifth wheel, you would have to go up to a 3,500. And the good news is they do have the Trail Boss available now for 2025, and once those come in, I will do a video on it. Be sure to subscribe to your channel, check out Jerry Seiner's inventory if you are in the market. See you guys soon.